Hello and welcome back to our study of Peninei Halacha, the teachings of Rabbi Eliezer Melamed, Shlita. Hope everyone's having a great Thursday so far. As we continue our learning, please continue davening for Chayalei Tzvah Yisrael, Refuah Shalem L'Chol Petzuei Yisrael, and a safe return of our hostages. Dedicating our learning to Nishmat, Seren Daniel Shimon Ben Harav Daron V'Shalei Shem Yekum Damo. The next chapter, I still didn't look up the word sichsuch or shichshuch. I think it should be sichsuch. If any of our listeners have insight into this, again, this is one of the Hebrew words I'm not familiar with. I know a fair amount of Hebrew, but this word, sichsuch yayin alidei na'nu akeli, it just sounds like it should be sichsuch. It's one of those onomatopoeia words. Yesh omrim shahaisel ovdei avodah zarah derech nitzuch nosefes. So some say that when those who worshipped avodah zarah with wine, they had an additional process or procedure to their nisuch, they would swish the wine around or mix it around in an open vessel. They would shake the vessel or the utensil with such strength so that they would shake the wine inside, so like vigorously shaking the container, the open container. Not to be confused with, let's say, when someone is tasting wine, and when we look like we know what we're doing when we drink wine, and you pour it in the glass and you swish it around gently and you swift the aroma with your nose and you check the notes, all that stuff. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like a vigorous shaking. So Chazal, they decreed that if a Oved Avodah Zarah, if a idol-worshipping non-Jew shakes the wine in such a way, and it's not for worship, Hayayin Asr Bana, even so the wine is prohibited from any benefit. Vimhu Eino Oved Avodah Zarah, Hayayin Asr B'Shtia. But if it's not a non-Jew that worships Avodah Zarah, again, sort of the traditional case, then the wine is only forbidden from drinking. Aval, Imakli Shayayim B'Sacha Hayasagor. But let's say the wine is closed. It's sealed. Afil bebekak aroy or sakit nylon. Even if it's, let's say, with a temporary cork or stopper or cap or a nylon, like a plastic bag or something, hayayin en enes klal she'ein derech nitzach bekli sagur. Because if the wine is closed, then they never did any sort of nitzach, any sort of worship with a closed container. It was only with an open container. So if it's closed, even if it's not permanently closed or sealed, that's good enough and wouldn't prevent it from being drunk. And if you had a idol-worshipping non-Jew, if he picked up the open container and he walked with it, or if he just went up the stairs, and as a result of his walking or going up the stairs, it caused the wine to be shaken with strength, since this shaking was not done to be shaken, it just was a natural effect of a person walking or the movement, then it doesn't prohibit the wine is allowed. Also, let's say when you're trying to remove the cork or trying to open up the bottle, that it causes shaking of the wine. Again, it's not for libation purposes, it's just an incidental shaking, then the wine is still allowed. So according to these opinions, only shaking the bottle and stirring up the wine and shaking the wine without any specific reason, that's what prohibits the wine, because if you're just shaking it to shake it. Mineged, on the other hand, yesh mekilim v'sorim shalom nagel l'nasech b'kli. Some say that no, we're more lenient because they never used to do nisuch. They never used to worship their idols with a vessel. And therefore, if you just shake the wine within its container, within its vessel, it does not prohibit it. There's several shittas. This is including the Ravid, the Rashba, the Meiri, the Rivash, the Bach, the Taz, and Knesset Hagdola, and many more. Lamaisis is practically speaking, Legabe goy oved avodah zarah. If you have a non-Jew that actually worships idols, lechatchila nogen kedas machmir, we try to be strict in this. V'makom hefsed makilim bahana, and if it's a case of great loss, that if we prohibit, forget about drinking, but just you can't have any benefit from the wine, it's going to cause you great loss, then we'll be lenient. And if it's a non-Jew that does not worship idols, which is most cases, then we are not stringent in the shaking of the wine. We're not stringent in this at all. Again, another lengthy note here, somewhat esoteric type of applications of the law, but parts of the laws nonetheless. And we'll see more as we go on, and we'll get to hopefully more practical applications of this. But in the meantime, hope everyone has a great day. Again, please continue davening for Chaylei Tzva Haganah Yisrael, for Shalom L'chol Petzuei Yisrael, safe return of our hostages. Nishmat, Sarah, Daniel, Shimon, Rav Dram, Vashali, Shem, Gedamo. Thank you so much for joining us, learning a little bit of Torah. We'll see you next time. Have a great day.